Hello viewers, welcome to the great Australian outdoors and welcome to 4 Wheel Drive TV, the show that covers all aspects of the 4 Wheel Drive industry, scene and community. I'm Simon Christie and we've got another great episode lined up for you. Tread lightly, keep it safe, play hard.
Hi, I'm Mick from Superior Engineering. We're up here at Glasshouse Mountains and we just come across these little wombat holes. What I'm going to do, I'm going to drive the patrol through with the sway bars fully connected, like it would driven on the road. And you'll see how it drives through here. Then we're going to come back around again and we're going to actually disconnect the sway bar disconnects. So having the sway bars connected, you can see how it doesn't want to allow the suspension to go to full travel. So you do have to push your car a little bit harder to get up the obstacle. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll put the locker on. And that'll help it get up, even though it's going to carry a wheel. So what we'll do now that we've driven that, I'm going to actually disconnect the sway bars on it. It'll allow a lot more articulation and we should be able to drive that a lot easier and safer than what we just tried then. So down here on the sway bar you can see there's a little pin in here. You can actually pull that out and that'll allow that to disconnect. Actually we'll leave this side connected because then I don't have to worry about securing the sway bar up. If you're going to disconnect both sides then sometimes you might use like an hockey strap or something to hold your sway bar up in the air. What I normally do on a 4 Wheel Drive, I just disconnect one of the rear ones. Then you'll still have 90% of your rear travel, but without having the safety issue of having your sway bar drop down. So we'll go for a drive now and see what that's like. As you can see how much easier now that's driving up there. Like there's no effort in it. There's heaps more articulation in the suspension. Way safer, and it's as simple as just disconnecting those pins. Then when you're back on the road, you can reconnect your sway bar and the vehicle's nice and safe. It was a lot easier to climb that obstacle then with those disconnected, and it was a lot safer drive.
The 2014 Tough Dog Tough Truck Challenge is fast approaching. Last year's event attracted a staggering 10,000 spectators to what is Australia's biggest, best and toughest off-road extreme 4x4 event. Tough Truck is held once a year and offers 3 full days and 2 nights of entertainment. Stages encompass both man-made and natural terrain, and vehicles come in all makes, models and size. Tough Truck is also a safe and family-friendly event, with separate family camping areas, kids activities, on-site security and police, and full amenities. And of course there's the 4-wheel drives. The toughest Aussie rigs you can imagine, with the most amazing specs, modifications and ingenious engineering. It's time you started planning your annual pilgrimage to the 2014 Tough Dog Tough Truck Challenge. We'd love to see you there.
We're here today with Jackie from 360 Gearboxes. Now Jackie, I've heard a rumour that adding a turbo to a non-turbo vehicle can cause a problem with the manual gearbox.
That's correct, Simon. Here is an example. We have two Land Cruiser gearboxes. This is a factory turbo model. This is a non-turbo model. And as you can see, there's a clear difference in size. This is clearly a larger, stronger gearbox. The input shaft bearing here is probably 1.5 sizes larger just alone, and that's just the first bearing.
Synchros are also larger and stronger in the turbo model?
Correct. This is a first gear synchro in your turbo box, and this is the first gear synchro in a non-turbo box.
So people who are thinking of adding a turbo to a vehicle, do they have to swap gearboxes or can they upgrade to strengthen their standard box? Because there is a considerable size difference.
Correct. This particular gear train we can upgrade. This gearbox here has a 1HZ motor. This can be modified and strengthened, but some models you can't strengthen the gearbox.
So is it just adding a turbo or any power upgrades?
Any power increases, but turbo obviously probably the biggest one that we see.
And people adding a turbo, you'd see a lot of them. What sort of damage is done to these gearboxes?
We see pretty much damage throughout the whole gear train, but predominantly third and fourth and especially fifth gear. The biggest thing we see is that the turbo boost is set on maximum and this poor little gearbox just won't stand a chance compared to the factory-made one for a turbo.
So the advice to our viewers is if they're thinking of fitting a turbo to a non-turbo vehicle, all said, well and done, but think about your gearbox upgrade as well.
Unfortunately, we hear only too often where a customer is told that adding a turbo to their motor will have absolutely no impact on the rest of the vehicle. But as you can see, Simon, there's clearly a big difference between the size of a non-turbo gearbox and the turbo gearbox.
Well, Jackie, a huge insight. I'm learning about gearboxes myself. Thanks for all the information. Look forward to catching up with you next time.
Thanks, Simon.
Holden's toughest 4x4 ever has arrived. Introducing the all-new Holden Colorado 7. It comes with 7 seats as standard and it's loaded with serious off-road grunt. You'll get 3-ton towing and the awesome 470 Newton-metre Duramax diesel engine, plus an impressive wading depth and hill descent control, all for the hardcore adventurer. The all-new Holden Colorado 7 is here. Take it off-road at your Holden dealer today.
ARB, Australia's largest manufacturer and distributor of 4x4 accessories, has everything you need for your next off-road adventure. From bull bars and suspension to recovery gear and lights, we've got 4-wheel drives of all shapes and sizes covered. Whether you're heading off to bitumen for a weekend getaway or preparing for that epic round Australia trip, enjoy a safer, more comfortable journey with ARB. To order a copy of our free catalogue, visit our website or give us a call.
The next generation of shock absorbers is here. Leading the way in 4x4 suspension development, Old Man Emu introduces the most advanced and finely tuned shock absorber on the market. Nitro Charger Sport incorporates a new valving system that instantly adapts to all terrain for an outstanding smooth ride and phenomenal control. Backed by a 3-year, 60,000-kilometre warranty, you can trust Nitro Charger Sport, built in Australia for Australian conditions.
30-second kitchen, a kitchen in 30 seconds. Fridge slide first. Fridge slide's got 130 kilo tracks in it, so it's nice and tough. Remove the R-clip, don't lose it. Drop the pin, leg locker, kitchen out. Lock kitchen down here, retrieve the R-clip, lock on here, R-clip in. Leg here, pull them together, stove, billy. How good's that, guys? Couldn't ask for quicker.
Finally, the driving light you've always wanted is here, boasting a class-leading freeform reflector and a super tough polycarbonate lens and ABS housing. The all-new Nava Ultimate 225 is a revolutionary driving light, available in halogen, halogen blue and HID, in both spread and pencil beams. and supplied complete with a plug-and-play wiring harness and polycarbonate lens protectors. These Aussie Outback Tuff lights outshine the competition. Visit narva.com.au for more information and make the switch to the brightest lights in town.
You're watching part 3 of our coverage of round 3 of the 2013 ARB Winch Truck Challenge Series. Teams have come from across central Queensland to compete this long weekend, and there's a great variety of makes and models represented. Toyota Land Cruisers, Nissan Patrols and a Range Rover make up the field, but despite looking like the original truck on the outside, the trucks used in this extreme competition are purpose-built winching machines that really do handle the terrain well. Let's hear from the guys at Big Bird Racing.
Trying to attack the winch walls as best we can, get the best line to them so we can get up them nice and quick. We poor Navy here, run his heart out and get up there as soon as we can.
Yeah, now 3 winch walls in this one, that does make it hard for you, Navy.
Yeah, he's got to push it through, try and get it done as quick as we can, try and get the best time. So far this weekend we've had a pretty good run. No breakages so far, so yeah, the truck's still going good, so we're happy.
The only issue you've really had was when you hit that water on the first stage yesterday.
Yeah, the petrol engines don't really like the water, so just done a bit of waterproofing last night in case we've done some water today, so it's all right. Having fun, so that's all that counts.
The team get the truck running again and, despite sounding very sick, finish the stage. Meanwhile, Team ARB Rockhampton were one of the unlucky rolls in the winch stage on Saturday, and driver Greg takes us through what happened.
Yeah, we had a bit of a drama yesterday, broke a hub, then went in stage 2-wheel drive, and yeah, it was winching really well, and all of a sudden run up a bit of a tree, and next minute I knew I was on my roof, so went over real quick. But we got it back going again, hardly any damage, windscreen, a couple of HIDs, and yeah, we're running again today. Did one stage today, so.
Nice new windscreen in this morning.
Yeah, we did that last night. One of the boys is a windscreen fitter, so we conned him into doing one for us last night, and it looks real good now, so see what happens.
It is surprising how little damage it really did, isn't it?
Oh, look, the sound inside the car wasn't really good when we went over. I thought it's all come down, and we tipped it back over, and there's a dent in the front corner and a couple of HIDs, that was it. There's no other mark on it. Inside the windscreen, you wouldn't know it'd been over, so yeah, it's good.
There was one more rollover to come on what looked to be a fairly straightforward hill. A number of trucks had already driven the hill and a few had winched up, but Hound Dog Racing were determined to drive it. It wasn't to be, however, and they didn't quite make it, rolling in a spectacular fashion. The tree halfway up the hill saved them from rolling any further, but also inflicted quite a bit of damage to the roofline, and the truck was looking very worse for wear. There was plenty of cheering and encouragement from what had been a very vocal and enthusiastic spectator crowd all weekend.
We get really good spectator crowds for these events. Again, even though a long weekend, we've got a good number of people out here, and yeah, it's been great to see the people out here. They're very well behaved most of the time. Dust and dirt and rocks, and it's fantastic.
There was a total of 12 stages for 2013, and from an organisation point of view, a large amount of effort goes into these events. So will WTC be back for 2014?
At this stage we haven't started planning yet, but yeah, we do believe we're going to run again with another 3-round series. We have a couple little things in the pipeline that have been in the planning stage for a couple of years. They might come to fruition next year. It's just going to depend on how much time Brad and I have got outside of work.
Yeah, now we talk about Brad, always interviewing you, but Brad is a fairly important part of this whole equation.
Brad lives in this area, has been involved in winch challenges and just competing in general for many, many years. An organiser of the CQ challenge when that was up and running. So yeah, he's got a lot of experience. I think we pair up pretty well together.
Yeah, and you've also got a very good group of officials that support you too.
Fantastic group. We've got our regulars that come out. They're here every weekend. They work tirelessly for us all weekend for no money. Basically a hamburger and a can of Coke just about some days, unfortunately. But mate, without these guys, we just couldn't do this. They are really the unsung heroes of our sport.
loving that V8 sound from Goldilocks Racing and also TNT Racing, who haven't had a completely trouble-free weekend.
Yeah, we lost reverse when we first got here. Came back to us yesterday, fortunately, but it decided not to play the game, and reverse was very sketchy today. So we got one little reverse up the top, and that was it. That rear line is very important in this tight stuff. If you can't realign, it's push the tree out of the road or you're not getting round.
Now, you did have it yesterday for a little while, and you're going quite all right then.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I think the auto's just on its way out, and yeah, it came good for a little while. Gave us 6 stages yesterday, so can't complain. At least it gave me something.
So after 2 solid days of racing, the eventual winner of round 3 was Redbeard Racing. Steve Blomfield with Navvy Shane Nielsen were consistent all weekend and showed a very steady pace in each stage. Faster stage times wasn't the goal, consistency was, and that paid off, allowing them to win the overall series and the round. Second place went to the GU Patrol of Pump and Grunt Racing, with the V8 Toyota of Goldilocks Racing taking 3rd place on the podium. Another great ARB WTC this year is over, and we can't wait for more WTC in 2014.
Got a ute? Need more space? Need it to be safe and secure? And of course stylish? Then look no further than Carry Boy. Designed with the true lines of your vehicle in mind and the ultimate in functionality, a Carry Boy canopy will transform the look and performance of your utility. For more information on why Carry Boy are the world leaders in canopy design, durability and practicality, visit carryboy.com.au.
When you need your manual gearbox rebuilt, don't start in reverse. Get it geared up right the first time with the team from 360 Gearboxes. As Australia's premium gearbox and diff specialist, 360 use the world's best gears, shafts, bearings and seals. 360 offer a guaranteed and quality changeover and A1 customer service. If your manual is grinding, crunching, sticking or blowing, demand the best 360 Gearboxes, a fast, reliable and high quality rebuild. For more info, visit 360gearboxesdiffs.com.au.
At Terrain Tamer, we've tried to take all the hard work out of four-wheel driving, so you can be an expert as well as an enthusiast. Our parts interpreters talk fluent four-wheel drive because we're talking with 40 years' experience. We've got all the four-wheel drive parts and accessories that you'll ever need, so you can toss them in the back for cheap insurance. When you're miles from the closest mechanic, you'll appreciate that advice. Terrain Tamer, we talk fluent four-wheel drive.
Now, who doesn't want more power? And I bet that most of you with diesels have your hands in the air. DP Chip is not a snack food, it's the real deal, and simply modifies the engine's fuel injection parameters to increase performance to a measurable difference of up to 35% more power and torque and up to 10% better economy. DP Chip, the only diesel power chip with a 5-year warranty, 24/7 tech support and user adjustability. For more information on DP Chip Diesel Power, call 02 4877 1022 or visit dpchip.com.
Hi guys, I'm Peter. This is my rig, Toyota Land Cruiser 60 Series. We've gone to places like Moama. We always do the Gradation Road, and we always go up past Dandy towards Traralgon and Sale. We're going to do a bit of modifications to it. Bull bar, winch, lights, and then we're going to look into probably changing the engine to a 5 litre. So we get a little bit more power. I've had it for about a year now, just a little bit over a year. The wife loves it because it's a great family car. We can actually go around and basically put the whole family in there. My brother will borrow it, he'll go fishing with it. And it's been a good and reliable car, being a 60 Series Land Cruiser, and I like to thank 4Drive TV and good old Simon over there and the crew.
Details on how to win a place in the Your Rig weekly competition can be found on the 4Drive TV Facebook page. And each successful entrant wins an electric blue span set snatch strap, a Narva adder circuit double fuse holder, a Narva power cup and a Narva cigarette lighter extension lead, an Oricom handheld UHF kit including two 2-watt UHFs, a Mean Mother mug, a Mean Mother snatch strap bag, a Mean Mother umbrella and a Mean Mother stubby holder. A pair of smart scissors and an Any-Sharp knife sharpener from our good friends at Keeslar. An add-on Donaldson diesel fuel filter kit including chassis mount. A U-Fix-It windscreen repair kit. A Superior Engineering cap and stubby holder. A Berrima diesel cap. An ARB Penrith stubby holder. A litre of emergency gear oil from 360 Gearboxes. A cap from 360 Gearboxes. A copy of 4x4 Australia magazine. A copy of Dirt Comp magazine and a Dirt Comp calendar. A copy of Wild Deer and Hunting Adventures magazine, a copy of Blitz Martial Arts magazine, 2 4Drive TV medium stickers to add to your rig, 2 stubbies of Bundaberg ginger beer, an ARB Air Locker t-shirt, an ARB jacket, an ARB pair of socks, an ARB cap and an ARB Old Man Emu jacket. And it's all neatly wrapped up in an ARB cargo gear carry bag.
Thank all the sponsors for the prizes. I know the wife will have a good use out of them. We'll have a good use out of it with our travels and our trips that we'll be having.
Hello, I'm Warren from 4Drive Bits. Today we've got 3 manual hubs that are available for the GQ/GU patrols, and we're just going to go over some of the differences between them. Here we have an original OEM manual hub from the GQ and a cheap copy of the OEM part, and this is a aftermarket part which has been designed for strength and longevity of operation. As you can see, the cheap copy is quite similar to the factory OEM part. It's been made out of slightly different metals though, so it's still cast the same as the OEM part, but it's quite a lot weaker. The biggest problem with these is that when they're put under strain, they break, crack around the outside, and just the outside housing falls apart. This is a aftermarket part made out from billet high tensile aluminium. It's been designed and machined so that it bolts straight on, and you can use the internal parts from either the OEM Nissan hub or from the cheap copy. The aftermarket part here also comes with a locating ring which correctly locates all the internal parts of the hub. It also has a slight lip on the outside so that even if you don't have the spacer ring on the inside of your hub, you can put this in and you don't need it. The housing on the bottom has a slight recess in it that fits in so that it bolts in and everything locates properly. This also comes with high tensile bolts, so everything is there. It's a complete bolt-on part. This is the Nissan well-loved and used original equipment hub. As you can see, the locating ring on the back of the hub relies on the internal spacer being in place. Otherwise, this ring will just slide in and won't locate the collar correctly. With this cheap copy, you'll see that the ring here has no shape at all to it, so the collar can actually slide in and out and doesn't get located properly at all, so you never can guarantee that the teeth will engage properly. With the aftermarket one here, there's no need for the spacer. You can see that it locates the locking ring just the same, but it has an additional collar on the outside here so that the spacer ring isn't required on the inside. There's no obvious difference looking at the different hubs as to the quality of the materials that they're made of, but from experience we know that this particular cheap copy has been made so that it's easy to cast at the expense of strength. Of the 3 hubs we have here, the Nissan factory hub is made in Japan, probably under license to Nissan. This cheap copy comes from China. As already explained, it's not that strong. This part here is a locally made part that's made in New Zealand, and it's made from billet high tensile aluminium. We chose aluminium to make these parts out of because we didn't want it to work harden with the stresses and things that it's under, and we were advised that the aluminium was the better material to use. It's also got some design changes over the factory hub outer. One of the most obvious ones is the webbing between the bolt holes is right to the very edge, whereas you can see the factory OEM has quite a step there, which is one of the weak points of the hub. The bolt holes for locating the hub also much tighter tolerance, which means there will be less movement on the bolts as they move and stretch under pressure. At the moment on our own vehicle, we're using this locally made billet outer part for the hub, and we're using the internal parts from the Chinese copy. We're doing that because we wanted to see how strong the Chinese internal parts were for the hub. With both the turbo diesel and a reasonably high-powered petrol engined Nissan Patrol, I've done all sorts of off-roading from club runs to winch challenges, front lockers, bouncing up hills, 37-inch tyres, pretty much anything we could think of that was available, and the billet outer hub has held together. We've had no issues at all. So it doesn't really matter whether you have a broken Chinese hub or if you've broken your factory OEM hub. The internals from both will go into the billet outer that we have here. The Chinese internals appear to be strong enough. It's just the outer casing which is letting it down. At the end of the day, all 3 manual hubs do the same thing. They lock and unlock the drive to the front wheel. The big difference between them is the strength. This is Warren from 4 Wheel Drive Bits. Thanks for watching 4 Wheel Drive TV, and I hope you can go out and have fun without breaking your hubs.
This is the first one that I've raced without my winch, mainly because I just ran out of time. I've been ending up setting up everybody else's vehicles and just didn't get time to put my winch back on, so I actually felt a bit naked without it. We've always been foot in it and let's see what tree we bounce off. But with the 1000, you do have to back off, otherwise you end up on your roof like I did this weekend. Huge amount of seat time. Look at the weather we got for this one. It's normally wet and rough. The main change that we would make would be limiting the travel. Trying not to get too much travel in the truck. Like I think I'm only running maybe about 8 inches of travel, whereas normally I'm running to 12 to 14, just to try and give it some stability. We get a few kicks on the backside, but we can handle that. Thank you, thanks for your time.
Viewers, thank you for tuning in. Now remember, stacks of fantastic prizes courtesy of the sponsors of 4 Wheel Drive TV. Jump onto 4wheeldrivetv.com.au for more information. Until next week, stay safe on those tracks, tread lightly, keep it safe, play hard. I look forward to your company next week.